So you may see a lot of bodybuilders around this time period having lots and lots of food, and you may be wondering why they're doing that. Now, the purpose of this we would call a carb load or perhaps a refeed. Now, when we are dieting for such a long time, we will tend to deplete the muscle glycogen stores, which is just glucose effectively stored in our muscle tissue. We'll deplete that so the muscle will look flat. Now, if a bodybuilder is perhaps going on stage, they don't want to look flat, they want that muscle belly to have a bit of size, so they want to fill up that muscle glycogen store with carbohydrates. And this is why you might see a lot of cereals, bagels, breads, jams, burgers and chips and whatnot. And you're probably thinking, but Vaughn, burgers and chips, there's fat in that as well. Well, fats will slow the absorption of carbohydrates, and sometimes when a bodybuilder is that lean, they will often just churn through carbohydrates quickly, sometimes in excess of 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000 grams of carbs. Now, you might be wondering, well, I'm a bikini girl, and how much should I carb load? Or how much should a refeed I get? Probably you're not going to carb load, if I'm honest. And that's probably because as a bikini athlete or similar, you're doing a photo shoot, you've probably not got enough muscle mass there for it to be fully depleted for you to then warrant putting a lot of food in. Of course, I'm speaking about toned bikini, not the perhaps more muscular bikini, which may perhaps need a little bit of that. And the same goes with refeeds. Now, often when a bodybuilder, like a male bodybuilder, will put this food in, it will tend to upregulate everything, and fat loss will take a step forward, because as we diet down, bodily processes will take a nosedive, such as thyroid function, right? But when we perhaps put more food in, we sort of trick our body into thinking, right, let's speed everything up, metabolism goes through the roof, and you often find that after the feed, the next few days, someone's reached a new low in body weight. So refeeds, carb loads are very similar, but can be a great way to actually elicit more fat loss in a prep for a show or a photo shoot or whatever it is. But please don't think that you necessarily need one. In all honesty, you probably just want one. And that's because when people have a refeed or a carb up, and I'm guilty of this as well, they'll tend to post about it. They'll put loads of food on their story. Now, if you've been dieting and you've been sticking to your calories for a while, and perhaps you've not had much food because you've got to pull a lot of body fat off, you'll see that, and part of your brain will want it. But it depends on whether you need it or not. So make sure you speak to your coach. I had someone message me saying they wondered if they should have a refeed because they think they might be losing too much muscle mass. And they really don't go hand in hand as such. I refer to our two muscle protein synthesis and the balance across the day. How I describe how a refeed works, this is the best terminology, is it's like when we're dieting, we're digging a hole, right? And that hole is just, we're throwing mud out of the hole. Now, when we have a refeed or a carb up, we throw sand back in the hole, all right? Now, that sand, very fine grains, can get in about the mud and not really you won't really notice the digging of the hole, like that hole depth, come up too high. In fact, it probably won't change at all. But let's say that sand allows you to dig a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. That's how a refeed will work. If we're perhaps doing a carb load, similar in the sense of you put the sand in, but you're not trying to dig. You've perhaps pulled back training, you've pulled back steps, you've pulled back your cardio because you're trying to achieve that sort of fullness look. So I hope that helps on what carb loads and refeeds are. If you perhaps aren't sure or you want to learn more, just drop me a DM and we'll have a chat. Thanks guys, have a good day.